Well, we're back at Cactus Jack Ranch here on the Bucks of Tecomate, and we're in for one incredible experience this week. We're hunting with Jerry Wascom and Cactus Jack Ranch. That has come to mean giant Texas bucks. Jerry, you've done an incredible job here.
We're lucky.
Yeah,
a lot of hard work and a lot of good luck to go with it.
There's a luck and some blessing, but you've worked hard for this. I think you're going to enjoy this week's The Bucks of Tecomate as Jerry goes after two of the biggest whitetails you will ever see.
David, you know, I was kind of the mystery guy. You know, I'd show up in pictures of big deer, but very few people knew me.
In a contest?
In contests, yeah, Los Cazadores.
And I kept saying, who's this Jerry Wascom guy?
Well, the reason you guys never met me is because I was working. You know, I worked.
In and out.
Yeah, I worked my way up through the system, you know, through the corporate structure to where I am today, and I had to work, and I had a limited amount of vacation, and I lived in Virginia, I lived in Singapore, I lived in Tokyo. I'd fly across the world, come and hunt,
in oil business,
manage a lease, and I'd come here and I'd do my thing, and I'm back. I got a family, I got a job, I can't be social with everybody, so now I'm kind of getting to know it a little bit better, being part of TWA and things like that, and it's great for me. Now I got the time to do it. And I'm an obsessive person, and if I'm going to do something, I can only do it all the way. So, you know, whether it's hunting or fishing or work, you know, I'm all in. And that's how it was with my deer hunting, and that passion has never abated. But this is the epitome of it.
It is indeed.
You know, if you're going to be all in, if you're going to be all in, and you can't stand it unless it's the best or being really good at it, but this is where you want to end your whitetail hunting career.
Cactus Jack was a good choice. You bet it was. You bet it was. That's awesome, Jerry.
Hey, Sean. Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
Ooh. They don't get any prettier than that.
Everything's here.
Yeah. Is he all intact?
All intact. He's a typical 12, so he's a 6x6. And for those in the score, he's a 195 6x6.
As a typical.
As a typical. And then he's got 26 inches of non-typical points on him. So he grosses 221, and he nets about 215.
As a non-typical.
Yeah.
With 6 inches of side-to-side deductions. Great day. What a giant. What a buck. That's a dream buck, just an absolute dream buck. Well, Jerry, congratulations. Your management's paid off. Jake's done an incredible job helping you grow these giant deer. What a buck, what a place. Cactus Jack, I'm telling you.
Jerry is no stranger to big bucks, but he has never had the chance to go after a world-class typical and non-typical in the same season, but this year he is.
The progression to get to this point is not something that I take for granted. You know, when I started doing this, we didn't have many deer in Louisiana, and the idea of hunting deer just had so much attraction. You know, I'm a big fisherman too.
I do.
The idea of catching big fish and hunting deer were the two things that just really drove me with a passion in Louisiana from a recreational standpoint. And then by the time I was, you know, in college, we had a little farm. We had a 20-acre farm, and I remember the year I graduated from LSU, I killed my first buck there with a gun, sitting in the back corner of our property. And,
that's awesome.
You know, killing an 8-point that might have scored 80 was a big deal.
Oh, it was huge.
It was a really big deal. So for me to be sitting here today and say I want to go after two just incredible record book deer is a journey that I couldn't imagine. I mean, and, you know, to be honest with you, back then, I was getting my hands on every article I could, reading about deer, and I remember reading North American Whitetail and seeing your name and seeing what you guys were doing and thinking, geez, man, I wish I could do that. And you know, so to be here today with you on this place and, you know, hunting together on this place,
I appreciate
it's just, you know, it's an honor for me.
It is for me as well, because this is the pinnacle of management. This is what it looks like in today's world. This is the ultimate management property right here. To my knowledge, I don't know of anybody that's ever taken a net, Boone and Crockett typical and non-typical with a bow in the same year. I don't think it's ever been done.
True wild native.
True wild native deer. There has never been any deer brought into this ranch. These are native wild deer.
The Bucks of Tecomate is brought to you by Loophole, Be Relentless, Federal Ammunition, Reconyx, see what you've been missing, Bergara, our barrels make the difference, Rocky, hunting with you since 1932, Ranch King Blinds, for your next big trophy, RTP Outdoors, and Tecomate Properties, the land and deer professionals. This week on the Bucks of Tecomate, David Morris joined Cactus Jack owner Jerry Wascom on a bow hunting quest for 2 world-class bucks, and the Tecomate Cameras were here to capture it all.
We sent Red, our cameraman, down. I asked, and you offered to let our cameraman come with you on this epic hunt that you're embarking on here for these 2 giant deer. What I didn't expect was the first morning after Thor, of all deer, you connected, you got him. Tell me about the hunt.
It was such a cool hunt. I mean, he came in just like he was supposed to. For me, when that big deer comes in, right in the beginning, I'm nervous. Okay, I'm nervous, and you know, shooting a bow in a situation like this can be a little stressful. So you know, he was out at 30 or 35 yards, and I told Red, I said, just shoot some video. He kind of looked at me like I was crazy.
He wasn't quite ready.
Yeah, I wasn't quite ready for that.
Buck fever, me and David Shash, you know something about that.
So he shot some video, and the deer came in. I wanted to get in closer, like maybe to 20 or something. And he came around, and he was making a bend coming in, and he was probably like 5 steps away from being right where I want him, and then something spooked them, and they all scattered.
They blew out of there.
And I'm sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, I should have shot him at 30. I know I can kill him at 30. How come I didn't do that? I was really hard on myself. And then luckily he came back. And he comes out, and he's at 20 yards, and he's broadside, so I draw my bow. About that time, another buck, nice buck, I don't know, 145, 150. You know, he's just a buck to me. I mean, he's just in the way, okay? So I'm drawn back, and this buck is standing between me and Thor, okay? I thought it was a good shot. You know, Rhett videoed it, and it proved to be a good shot as a double lung pass through, which is exactly what we wanted. Yeah, it's always an exciting and nervous time after you shoot one with a bow, because they never drop right where they're supposed to, you know. I just shot a big deer called Thor. He's a big non-typical. I don't know, he's 22, 23 points, big drop time. Probably the most massive deer I've ever shot, and this is a nervous time.
Yeah, double on.
Stroked him. That looked good.
He took off. He kind of reared up, and then he took off, and I found him like 60 or 70 yards away in the edge of the field. Whoa! I see a deer. I never saw any blood, but I see a deer. Whoa. Woo! Big Thor! Oh my God, look at that. God, look at that beast, huh?
Yeah, I could use some math, huh? Yeah.
It's time for Reconyx to let you be the judge. Reconyx high-performance scouting cameras. See what you've been missing. Season is winding down in South Texas, and you already have a gross 146 under your belt. Your lease allows you to take 2 bucks, but the second one must be bigger than your first and at least 6.5 years old. Does this buck make the cut? You be the judge. Here's our Reconyx You Be the Judge answer. Right off, you know he's plenty old, likely 8.5 or older. Good to go on age. You start field scoring. A short 10. Right G4 barely 2 inches. 23-inch beams, 4-inch brows. Short right G2 drops average to 7 inches per side. G3s, 9 inches. Can't get more than 4.5 out of G4s. Maybe 19-inch spread. You tally up 148. Shooter. What an exciting week for Cactus Jack's owner, Jerry Wascom. He set out this season to harvest a giant typical and a monster non-typical in the same year with his bow. On the first morning of the hunt, he shot the giant non-typical buck they called Thor.
Well, we put our hands on him. That was the goal. And he didn't disappoint. Man, this thing is a beast. I think he's got 25 scoreable points. He's 22 inside. His bases are both like 6 and 6/8. Just a massive, gnarly critter. A whole lot like his personality. This deer is probably the meanest deer we have on the ranch. He does his thing and he expects everybody else to get out of the way. And he's proven to be pretty elusive over the years. I'm actually quite surprised we killed him this quickly. We normally only see the deer 2 or 3 times a season. And this deer's crazy. I mean, he walks right down the middle of the field, expects everybody else to leave. You know, we feed protein here. And of course, they can eat anytime they want. And if the protein feeder runs out, Jake can hear him at the house banging on the protein feeder. He has no patience when the protein feeders run out. Usually we find his shed and it's completely shaved off right here from where he rubs on the steel protein feeders. Almost always at night, but that's what he does. Phenomenal deer, you know, thanks to everybody who works this so hard. Jake, who manages it and keeps them fed, and Tim and Robin, who make this such a special place. So another big celebration day.
This might be our most massive deer ever. Yeah.
Yep. These giant bases, look at that.
I'm excited to get the tape on him and enjoy him at camp, see him in the house in a year from now, mount it up, and he's going to be an iconic one for years and years.
Well, Jerry, congratulations on one of the most incredible deer that I've ever laid my eyeballs on.
Yeah,
and congratulations, we're halfway there.
Halfway there.
We're not through, and I'm gonna stay tonight and tomorrow on the hope that you get Showstopper.
As exciting as Thor is, I am equally excited about Showstopper because a giant typical is such a rarity.
To have a big, clean typical like this, that's rarer than the non-typicals.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, I've had a chance to kill a lot of big non-typicals, you know, a bunch.
Yeah.
But I've never killed, I've got several book, but I have never killed a giant typical.
Well, this one will qualify.
This one's
one's going to qualify. I saw him, and he's the biggest I've ever seen.
And I just think they're so beautiful.
Oh, they're beautiful.
I mean, this thing's like a radar.
And he's got the look of beauty. He's beautiful. He's got the shape. Big square rack, 20, we've been discussing how wide he is. 24 anyway?
At least.
Anyway?
Yeah.
Maybe 25? And maybe surprise, I don't know. He's wide, I know that, and he is absolutely beautiful. So I can't wait to see Showstopper, but right now, Thor is my favorite deer that you've ever taken. I'm gonna tell you, that thing is an absolute beast.
A lot of work goes into that, guys. My work's kind of pretty short on that.
Yours is really important.
Yes, that last 1% matters.
That's a big deal.
The Bucks of Tecomate is brought to you by Loophole, Be Relentless, Federal Ammunition, Reconyx, see what you've been missing, Bergara, our barrels make the difference, Rocky, hunting with you since 1932, Ranch King Blinds, for your next big trophy, RTP Outdoors, and Tecomate Properties, the land and deer professionals. David Morris came down to Cactus Jack to celebrate with Jerry Wascom on his big, non-typical buck. But Jerry's hunt isn't over yet. He's going after his second buck of the season, a huge typical they call Showstopper.
Congratulations, almost here.
Yeah, well, almost.
I'd say.
I thank you.
I think you torched
I
it.
thank you. I do too.
Ready him up.
I do too.
Looked like hard, huh?
We're on Cactus Jack Ranch, and Jerry Wascom has just shot a giant typical with his bow, and we're in the process of recovery, we hope. We think it's a good shot. I think we got him sighted here. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Jerry has made history with a net typical Boone and Crockett and a net non-typical Boone and Crockett in the same year with his bow. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. Look at this thing. Look at this.
Wow.
Wow. What a
That
beast.
thing is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Look at this.
Look at the
Great
mass
day.
on it. Look at the mass. Wow. And he's got better mass than I thought he was going to have.
That's a horse right there.
Wow.
Good nut. Good nut. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Whew. I mean, look at that thing. Good night. Nothing broken either.
Nothing
I'm sure
broken.
you hunt them early in the season.
And there's no weakness to him.
No, there's not. It's
I
just incredible.
thought this was 2 inches. It's
You're
3.
gonna get
I thought this was
That
3. It's 4.
That was 4. Good night. Just a.
He pulls in a little on this side, so he didn't get quite the width
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I had estimated him at.
Well, you get so much the appearance of width because of the mass, and he lays out a little bit.
He does lay out.
Yeah,
a
he
bit.
lays out good night.
So great to have you, all of y'all here, you know. Tim and I have been doing this a long time together. we've been holding some big deer for a long, long time. And
Good night. Look at that thing. The mass on him is just what's incredible. Look at that. Look at that. Dang, Jerry. I had a bird's eye view of the whole thing from a blind about 120 yards away, and I was watching the deer with my binoculars at the time you shot, and I didn't know you were going to shoot because I couldn't see, and I wasn't sure if it was in your window or not. But that arrow just zipped out. I mean, I couldn't believe it. He shot him, he shot him.
yeah,
And I knew it was a good hit. He ran like he was hit hard, and I saw the arrow, I heard the arrow hit him and saw it hit him. I knew it hit him. Good night, what a deer.
boy, that thing is something.
Unbelievable. I mean, the mass There's some high-scoring typicals that are impressive but don't have this kind of mass. To have this kind of mass and score like he does, this is an incredible deer.
Oh, it
Just
is.
incredible.
Hopefully, you were out here a long time, big boy. Hopefully you got lots of babies spread around.
Yep.
You were the king of the hill. You were the king of Mule Hill for quite a while.
Jerry 2 days ago shot a net 232 and today shot a gross 200 typical 12 that netted 193 and 1/8. That don't even sound right saying it, Jerry. My goodness.
A lot of fun.
Congratulations,
Thank
man.
y'all for being here.
Oh, it's our great pleasure.
You guys always bring so much knowledge and,
thank
you know, character to what we're trying to do here. It's always great having you here.
Well, thank you very much. It's a privilege for us to be here. Cactus Jack is a blessing, I'm just telling you. Thank the good Lord above for the gift he gave you here.
Never overlook it.
Never overlook it. This man deserved it right here. He's worked his whole life for this moment and dreamed your whole life for this moment.
You and I are doing it at the same time in different places in the country.
That's right. See you next time on the Bucks of Tecomate.